All right, Jeremy here, Jeeps Unlimited, partsbreakers.com, 303-666-9020. And I am going to be showing a CJ5 here in a minute. I've got a couple of these in. I'll actually show both of them, maybe even all of them, because they're all kind of now centered down here finally. So, before I kind of had them all scattered. So I have 4 in total, but they're going to be a variety of conditions. And I'm going to show the best right at the beginning. Because this is something that, you'll hear me say if you watch a lot of my videos, when I get something clean in, this is tasty, and it's something I don't get in very often. So in 21 years of doing it, I can tell you how many CJ7s and how many CJ5s I've had that have been worth enough to, part period, body frame wise. And of those, this has got to be, and let me preface this, it's pre-dismantle, which means it's still together for the most part. But with what I can see, this is probably, if not one of the cleanest tubs I've ever had. Could very well be the cleanest tub we've ever had for a CJ5. So I'm going to go over it with you. I'll explain, as all these are going to be pre-dismantle, what we'll be looking at as far as not so much price. I don't put price in our videos just because it changes if people watch these videos years later. But I will explain something. We've been doing this for a long time as far as the pre-dismantle goes. Pre-dismantle essentially just gives you an opportunity to lock in something and take a flyer on it. There's really no risk on your part. As anything we do out here, we guarantee stuff. So if it comes back as I'm not able to show or find or see something, and we get it fully tore down, and it's got something I couldn't see before. And I'll show you, I'll go through that with you and what I mean by that here shortly. But in that case, then, if we have something else, then I'll try to put you into that. And if not, nothing else, we'll just refund it. And pre-dismantle deposits run about $1.50. So they are fully refundable if the Jeep doesn't turn out to be what I explained it as, okay? And I know that sounds, but you do have to kind of take a leap of faith in that sense. But just know that, I back up what we sell. So I'll explain that more and more. You do save a couple $100 by doing pre-dismantle. It allows us to cash flow the business just a little differently. If you notice, we have a lot of Jeeps, okay? There's 7 acres out here, and I do pretty much nothing but Jeeps. So it used to be when we were smaller and a little slower, we could go through and I could just have a dismantler go willy-nilly and everything would come apart. And that doesn't really work anymore. We're months out on a lot of this stuff. So that allows me to go, hey, Kevin, I got somebody who's waiting on this thing. He's got a little bit of money on it. And he's interested in this one, or he's interested in this one, whatever. And it allows us to put that one to the front, at least for the dismantler stuff. Because he is definitely dismantling stuff out here that is not necessarily high on our priority list, but I need to throw some work at him. So, and I know it seems like, well, why wouldn't you throw work at this one? Well, pick which one. I mean, which one is going to sell next is kind of the thing. So that's kind of the way we roll that. And again, if you don't want to go that route, that's totally fine. There's always a case for it may come apart and it may still be available. And if it does, then you can always buy them like that. Usually CJs don't last, and 5s or 7s. Even our YJs sell pre-dismantle quite a bit, and TJ frames, stuff like that. So, but I'd say, do your homework, research us, go to YouTube, look at, the years of videos and other stuff. I call them my boring videos, but, they're nonetheless, you can see how much stuff we've moved over the years and get an idea for us in that sense. So, okay. So as far as that goes, that's about it. And like I said, I'm going to start with what I think could be possibly the cleanest CJ5 tub we've ever had here. This is going to be for the guys looking from a 76 to an 83. And, yeah, let's just go through it, okay? We'll get up close and personal, and hopefully I have enough battery life. Like I said, I'll show you the other ones, and the other ones are bleaker, okay? So definitely more common for what we have. So cowling area, this looks all really nice. Even the windshield frame on this guy looks pretty good. The paint's a little weird on it, and it's sometimes this kind of stuff we almost have to wash. This frame is sold already if it's good, so this is not even an option for anybody right now. We've been waiting on a good CJ frame, so hopefully that one turns out to be a good one. Fenders aren't great on this. You can see they've been smacked. There's even a little rust in them. But as far as the cowling down to the sidewall, you're down in this area, this is all clean. Got a little bit of a bubble here. This is starting to see bleed through on both this side and I'm sure on this side as well. Actually not too bad here, but this is a pinch area here. So this is an area that you almost can't even see the damage. But the good news is not blown all the way through, at least this area, because a lot of times this is where they blow out. So definitely notice that and a little bit of repair there. But that's going to be about it as far as that goes. That trim panel is normally chrome on these. And this one was painted black, obviously. I don't think people understand when they paint that stuff. That's actually, those are hard pieces to find. This one's got a couple little dings in it. But those are sought after and they're expensive. You get them cleaned. Stripping the paint off wouldn't be a huge deal, but this one's not in the best of shape. Like I said, you can kind of see it's got right here, you can feel a little dinger in the outside of that. So those don't come with the tubs. We peel, this thing will be bare. Okay, but it is something I just, I mean, the flares aren't great. These are trash, so this stuff we pull anyway. You can see this bolt here. Looks like it's kind of starting to pull through almost. And there's probably a little bit of filler there, at least it looks like there is. It's oftentimes on these old CJs, when they have, right out of the dealership, they would oftentimes send them right to a body shop and have them leveled out. That's pretty common. And that's probably what this is. It's hard to say. Obviously, when we get it fully stripped down, we can look at that. The other thing that's possible here is this is actually what holds the roll bar. These are the outer bolts for the roll bar. You can see this is like an angled iron piece of steel. You can kind of see it over there. And this is super rigid and this is not. So it's very possible that this, just over time, is kind of starting to pull the bolt in and it's starting to get a little bit of cracking there. So again, not a hard fix, but I do want you to see it. So this is a perfect example of when a pre-dismantle, we can do the best we can with showing you the top and then looking at the bottom and then hoping that when we pull this, there's nothing else there. But until this comes out, we won't really know. So like I said, I'll show you the wheel wells here shortly and we'll hope for the best there. But until we get it there. So this is nice and clean, straight, couple extra little holes that wasn't factory on it, I'm sure, speakers or something. The bed area, the flat, this part, this is flat, which is awesome because a lot of times these get overloaded. Okay, and when they do, you can always tell they get real wavy. So same thing here. Okay, that one's real nice and straight. This one's got a couple little areas in it you can kind of feel with your hands. The whole point of this video is so you can almost be here if you were standing here next to me. Okay, I want to give you that feel for this, and that's why I like doing these this way. So this is a non-tailgate. It's so funny. One of my guys, he worked for me for years, came in and goes, "So what do they do? Weld the tailgate on that?" I go, No, that's factory. And that's a clean one. That's really remarkable how straight, clean, and unmolested that area is. Because a lot of times people have gone crazy and drilled things, tried to make things bracket on them. And so that is in beautiful, beautiful original shape. The lower rockers clean on it. Yeah, like I said, that actual tailgate there area here. This is probably not factory. It doesn't look like it. It might have been something that Jeep or somebody did. And it looks like it is just on the outer side of that tub. So I expect a little bit of an indentation there, but it doesn't look like it affected it much. Torque pockets are another area. I'm not going to be able to show you that. Clearly there's a frame down there. So, we're hoping, I mean, you can kind of see, look at this area here. I always tell people when they're buying a CJ, look in this area here. And you can see, look how clean this one is. This is gorgeous. The torque pockets are nice and straight here. This is the channel for your torque pockets. These are usually mashed down and beat up. There's a mount right here. So this is one that gets flattened pretty quickly. So we're hoping that, again, this, just by what I'm seeing a lot of really good things. So there's the area underneath that roll bar. And I don't see anything. I actually still see the support there. So that's great news. Okay. And I didn't show that other side. We'll go back there real quick. So yeah, I don't see anything alarming there. That support's good, but it is something, like I said, because there's two pieces of steel clamped down there, when we pull it, it's something that might hide. So when I do a pre-dismantle, I don't see anything here, so I'm not going to price adjust for something here. But if we got down there and let's say that's blown out, that's a perfect thing to go to the customer. Now the customer might say, I'm still willing to take it, but let's work on the price. And then in that case, I absolutely will. Or they may say, nope, it's too far gone. I don't want to mess with it. And then in that case, we just cancel out and refund it back. So like I said, there's really no risk on your part. It just allows us to kind of move forward. This side is gorgeous. I don't see anything, no cracking on any of these bolts. The corners look great. Like I said, the roll bar, and again, this is all bare. Remember, the roll bar will be pulled. Seat brackets are going to come out of it. Dash will be pulled. And this thing's just going to be a bare tub. That's how we sell them. If you're looking for other parts on it, you grab them when we can, because CJ's part very quickly, especially clean ones. So there's your Renegade, and I just want to show that. That's why that has that non-tailgate. All those Laredos and Renegades and Golden Eagles, those are always going to have on a CJ5 the non-tailgates. It was kind of an upgrade, which is kind of funny to me, because I always thought back in the day it wouldn't been that way. So anyway, this side's super clean. This side, that feels great. And then again, this is another thing, even though that's actually kind of see where the chrome is on that. That one's really good shape. But that's an area that it bolts up against the tub. So it's really hard to see what's behind that. Again, if it's blown out completely, we can adjust if you're even willing to do that. And if you're not, that's okay. We can just say, okay, no problem. We'll find, we'll refund you and find somebody else who's willing to take it on. Again, I don't think that's going to be an issue on this one, but it's always, a possibility. So, and definitely a possibility on any CJ to have leveling in it. So we'll have to see on that. I don't get into that too much. If the pressure washer doesn't start lifting anything, then we kind of leave it alone. And something, yeah, potentially if you had it sandblasted, you'd fine, but I don't feel much in this tub. I don't think that's, holy moly. Little tornado, dust devil. That's not something we get out here very often. I heard something behind me. Some weird weather. Anyway, so the floors, excellent shape. They're a little oxidized, but we're not seeing surface rust on them, no layering, no flaking, nothing like that. The brackets are still somewhat installed. They're kind of starting to go, or getting loose on them anyway. So that one looks good too. The tunnel looks clean. It's just probably got it's hard to say. I think this is a 300 in it. I think it's like an 81. So this has probably got like a T176, maybe a 150 if it's early enough. But you got a couple little dingers you can see right there in that tailgate, almost from the outside. So maybe there is something. That's one of the reasons like I said, I love doing these videos, because yep, see right there. I missed that when we were doing the video earlier. So that looks like it's got a little, almost like a puncture, like they backed into something right there. So we'll take a little bit off for this stuff, but this is all real minor. And you can, the other big thing about this stuff, and you can talk to a body guy unless you're a body guy yourself, but is, make sure there's nothing back here, is it accessible? So can you fix this? In this case, there's some cracking here, and you can see where it's kind of popped here. But a lot of times on the newer stuff, they have what we call like a blind pocket or a boxed in area, and those are a lot harder to fix. So the fact you can get to both sides, stuff like this, or even stuff like this up here, that makes it a heck of a lot easier for a body guy or for just a person to go through and rework that stuff. So, all right, so I know that's about all you get. There's a little bit I can get down the ground here and kind of show you up underneath this thing. But for all intents and purposes, I think this is going to be could be the very cleanest one. I'm not kidding. When it comes to how clean this one is, you can see, look at that. See the hole in I don't know if it's a hole, but it's a dinger. Looks like the drive shaft or something broke on it. They did something to it, because look at the spring. That spring's bent in it, and then there's a good sized dinger in that oil pan. So, all right. Now the gnats are starting to come out now. Yeah, so that guy's, I think we're gonna end up with an A grade here, which is, like I said, I don't know if I've ever had an ACJ5 ever. I'm gonna show you these. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on them because they're both, but if you're wanting to save some money, our CJ5s like this guy, and you can see there's a little bit of rot there. That's a good shot. I mean, that's probably a little bit bigger than my fist, okay? So right there, and this is real common area to rust out on them. So Is this tub usable? Yeah, especially for somebody in the Midwest, East Coast that's dealing with a lot worse. But it's still not, you know, this would be like our CJs. If it's just this, it'd be like a B, but I think there's some other things on this tub. This is a tailgate model, so that may not even appeal to some. Corner's pretty dinged up, okay? Lower rockers pushed in, got some dings here. And then it's got filler through here. The floors aren't bad in it though. The floors are pretty good actually. So this would probably be, you know, our TJs and YJs we grade a little differently, but CJs, so you could probably pull this one off as a low B and knock it down a little bit for somebody and move it, because it's probably going to be fairly solid. This one's probably a good candidate for sandblast, which we just got going. We haven't fully set up yet, and that won't be offered on everything. It's going to be stuff that we're unsure about. We don't want to take a flyer on and pick up. Ooh. And then also when customers request it, that would be the other case there. So, and then this guy is another. This would be probably a C if we're even lucky. There's a ton of filler in this thing on the sides here, on both sides. It does have some good stuff. The floors actually look really good on it, which is kind of funny. This is a non-tailgate. The back area looks good. The corners are decent. That's pushed in there, right there. And like I said, there's a decent amount of, and it's hard to say, was this leveled originally? Very well could have been. This is pushed in though, quite a bit. And just note with this one, this was definitely crawled in, wheeled in. It's very likely that this is damage from wheeling in it. And damage from wheeling in it is almost worse than an accident, because it just flexes these things in weird places. So you got belt rail damage, you got corner damage, lots of filler in this one. This would definitely be a low grade C, at least for the sides. Now the floors might be epic. They might be beautiful. And, you know, in that case, it might still be worth selling, because a lot of times it's the floors that go bad. And sometimes people buy a whole tub. They have really nice sides, and they just want the whole tub so they can cut the floor out of it. And that's no problem. But this has got a kink here on the side. You can see this big old roll bar probably flexed this thing, even tipped it over on the side possibly, and it's kinked this thing. So still has some value in it, like I said. And this area is actually spotless. That's really nice. So the cowling's nice on it. So we still take stuff off of this. This has got, look at the damage up here. This definitely, ouch, shit. Did that twice to myself. Tetanus shot. So definitely an area that we would, it's a bummer too, because that was probably, with the CJ seats like they are on that, I mean, those are trash, but that was probably some upgraded trim package on it too. So, and then the other one I have is up front. We'll walk up there real quick. And I thought I was going to luck out with some CJ7s, because we really aren't parting those anymore unless we buy them kind of incomplete. We got two that are going to be up for sale here soon that are really nice CJ7s. I'll show you those at the very end of this video. Anyway, I thought I was going to have, guy came in, it's just kind of the same story. Everybody's got a rust-free tub, you know, or a rust-free Jeep they want to sell. And I always am like, well, let me be the judge of that. I've been doing this a long time. So they brought them in, and yeah, they're salvageable. They ain't rust-free. Matter of fact, one of them may not even be salvageable, but it had a nice set of doors on it and a top. So this is the other one I got. This has got carpet in it, so it's really hard to see the floors right now. It's got some nice things on it. We ended up with some good things on it. That was nice. Let's see, is that, whether this frame or that other frame, one of these frames will be spoken for. This one looks like a decent one too, though. I'll have to pull the glass on it. That might be available, but that corner's smoked on it. Non-tailgate, so that's not bad. You can see the rust there, though. Big old rust chunk there, and probably same here. You can start seeing it swell out. This is something I'll have to look a little closer at, because if you notice, that other one didn't have this cutout on it here, kind of this raised lip. And I don't know if that was, I always kind of said CJ5s, but we don't get a lot of these in that are decent. So I don't know if that was a 1 year only thing, or if somebody did a tub swap on this, because that kind of reminds me of an early one. And that might be all it is, or it could be something that the military, it's just hard to say with these guys. So this corner's got some damage on it, but it's salvageable. And this is all pretty clean through here. And then we got a little damage right there. Cowling looks good on it. And the floors look nice in this one, but it does have carpet, so I won't know that one entirely for sure yet. And I might have to learn something, because like I said, I don't even after doing this for so long, I don't take notes sometimes of those little details. And like I said, that cutout there, I don't think it was on either one of those back on that other one. So originally the guy told me this was a 72-75, but I did confirm with what at least the chassis underneath it. So it's hard to say. Maybe he pulled the tub from something else, but I do understand these wheels are hard to get. So we got some of those, but dash looks decent. It's uncut. That's nice. All right, now that's going to be about it. Let me show you some cool things we have here. This YJ is going to be for sale here soon. Got a brand new transmission, AX15 in it. It's a Renegade. We got some big tires on this guy. But that's a cool little Jeep. And then these guys here, both out of California, both clean titles. This gray one here is all original. I might have a buyer lined up for this one. I'm not 100%. Matter of fact, I need to fire him off a video of this. I did it last fall when I got it in, but this is a really, we bought this thing with the intention of possibly parting. I ain't gonna part it. It's too clean, too original, too clean, no rust. Like I said, it's a beauty for somebody wanting an original Jeep, especially if you wanted to just drive it. You could. It runs and drives. This thing will start right up. Or, you know, this would be a great platform to start to build off. So you can. And the interior is just as clean. This one's gorgeous. You dash in it. It's I mean, these are aftermarket seats, but it's got a nice look to it. It really does. So top's in good shape. And then this beauty here, and this one is one we bought as somebody had started it and never finished it. We have a couple different ways we may go with this one. We got a 383 stroker in there. I usually am more of a purist. We usually only do Jeep stuff, but it's sitting in there and needs a home. So this would be a fun one to do that on. But who knows? We'll see. This one's been, you know, modified a little bit. It's got a shackle reversal on it. Obviously the paint on it, but it's got I think they both have tilt steering on them. That's a hard option to find. Yeah, this is a tilt steering column, nice and tight on it. So that kind of stuff only came in the upgraded packages on them. So like I said, both of these will be available. I mean, technically they're both available now. I was halfway tempted to keep this one because it happens to be our company colors, but I've said that for over a year now, and you know, money talks. So we'll see. This is the time of year everybody starts calling on these things. So we'll see, get this one. This one's definitely going to go, hopefully here in the next couple weeks. We'll see that one rehome it. So, all right, I think that's about it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, definitely give me a call. I'll fire this email or text this link as soon as it gets uploaded today off to the couple people that have asked about CJ5 tubs. I try to do it in order that we get these calls in, these emails. So if I fire it off to you, you know, you're interested in it, just let me know sooner than later. I don't say that to tell you that, you know, make you put a fire on your ass and say it's going to be gone tomorrow, but you'd be surprised on tubs. They are hard to get, so especially clean ones. All right, thanks guys. 303-666-9020, partsbreakers.com.